Today, I'm going to be going over some of my favorite AP setups on the offense, and we're going to get it started talking about offense. Now, offense, I had to re-record because was not expecting this card to be revealed. And the main AP setup right now, I think you should make a super quarterback with Joe Montana. Now, how exactly are we going to do that? Joe Montana, I got this card for around 700K, pretty expensive quarterback, but he absolutely changes everything because of the fact that he gets Hot Route Master for 3 AP. Honestly, I think this is kind of ridiculous because of the fact there's like two things that kind of bother me with this, because Hot Route Master being 3 AP, I feel like it should be a lot more AP, because if you think about it, right, a slot apprentice and a tight end apprentice just together on the field, 4 AP. An RB apprentice on top of that, 6 AP. So Hot Route Master being on one person for 3 AP really doesn't make sense to me, and that's something I honestly expect to go up in AP, and I think it should. As I'm recording this, right, we got a little bit of AP to spend. I would actually rock this Hot Route Master ability, and in this tier 3 bucket right here, I would run the Gunslinger ability. So right now we have 5 AP on the quarterback, and Gunslinger, I don't think Joe Montana has the best release in the game. I don't really even like it. It's just the fact that he gets that Hot Route Master ability. So yeah, again, we're making a super quarterback. Hot Route Master, Gunslinger right now, one of the best combos you can get, and we're not done there. This honestly, like, I know Hot Route Master is so good. The most needed ability, I think, is actually gift wrapped. Gift wrapped is basically an ability that says you're not going to get cheated. Your receivers won't randomly drop passes. You can catch high balls. Your players with low catching, like specifically running backs in the game right now, do have some low catching. They won't randomly drop balls. This is basically a don't get screwed over ability, and that's how I would spend like my AP on offense. 6 out of 7 AP, all on Joe Montana on the quarterback. Now here's where we can get a little bit nasty with this setup. So like I said, I would rock 6 AP on Joe Montana. That would be my AP setup. I will talk about the additional AP I would spend in a second, but other things you could do, like maybe you don't want to rock Gunslinger. I understand why, and I'm gonna say it again, even if the comments disagree, there really isn't a good blitz in the game. And when I say a good blitz, if you can block your running back and get all day to throw, it's not a good blitz. So yeah, do you even really need Gunslinger? I'm not saying it's a bad ability. I'm just saying I don't think it's a necessity like it was versus the loop. Now, other than that though, I think something on your running back that you could run, I think a jukebox makes a ton of sense, because jukebox, honestly, it might be even more overpowered than Hot Route Master. Seriously, what I compare jukebox to is a freaking stun grenade in Call of Duty. I swear jukebox literally leaves your entire defense stunned. Like, it could juke out like literally everyone. I think it's one of the most broken abilities in the game. If you want to take off a Gunslinger, run a jukebox, I think it makes sense. Other than that though, how I would spend my AP, like we'll just use George Pickens as an example, even though he doesn't get the ability. Mid and elite, I think, is also a really great ability in the game. This activates on a ton of post routes, and I like the contested catching boost as well. Helps you beat man coverage, love it. And I'm not really going to talk about slot apprentice, outside apprentice, because really the value is in Hot Route Master. Now really the only other thing I would rock for 2 AP is actually going to be on an offensive lineman, and I'm just going to pull up a Drew Dalman right here as an example. The thing I would run on this card, okay, just think about what we play a lot of right now: 3-man rushes, post up on the center. At times, I feel like it's almost better for the defensive side of the ball if you double team without post up, because I feel like they even shed faster. I know it's kind of ass backwards, but that's the game we play. And this just really helps versus the 3-man rushes, also helps in the run game as well. So I'm a big believer in post up. If you want to run a post up on your center, I think it makes a ton of sense. Now, finally, we're going to go ahead and do a full circle real quick. We're going to talk about that remaining 1 AP on offense. This, I think, is the best strategy. This is exactly what I would do. On Kalen Metcalf right here, I would run Homer, Clutch, Indoor Baller, any singular one of these. And you might be like, Dill, why would you even do that? The goal for 1 AP, right? We're trying to get his X Factor. We're trying to get his X Factor of route tech. Now, usually you need 3 catches of 20+ yards, but say you're the home team or you're playing in a dome, I would recommend just making your home stadium a dome and then rocking Indoor Baller, because you have a chance to get it whether you're home or away. You have potential to only need 2 catches of 20+ yards, which is super easy. I can't even begin to tell you guys the amount of times that I accidentally got this ability. And given they took halftime adjustments out of the game, this should stay on the entire game. So that's how I would rock my offensive AP. Those are all the strategies that I'm thinking of. Now we're going to talk about the defensive side of the football. How are we going to get a stop, boys? How are we going to get a stop? There's different directions you could go. Right now, I'm kind of experimenting with abilities on defense. The first thing that I kind of like right now is 3 zone KOs on defense, where my slot CB has mid zone KO and my 2 top safeties have deep end zone KO with Troy P, Ed Reed, and Rondé Barber on my team right here. As you can see, I know my face cam is blocking out Rondé Barber, but we have mid zone on him. Now, do I recommend running man coverage? I think man coverage is more of like a random mix-in where they're trying to beat zone and you just randomly call man. That's where I think man is good right now, because man was really only good with the loop blitz because of the instant pressure you could get, and just you had like a man on a man, right? I think almost everyone right now should be running zone coverage. Man coverage is not good in my opinion. Now that's why I'm trying this. I'm also running a little bit more of match coverage on defense. Again, we're just trying stuff out right now. I know it's almost impossible for people to get stops right now when you're playing actually a competent player. The other zone KO that I think is really, really interesting, and I was debating on having it or not, that's going to be on Paul Krause right here, and he can actually get that deep out zone KO ability. I was really tempted to use this and play him at a top safety spot. Now, the reason why Paul Krause is playing corner for me as well is because when I have him and Isaiah Simmons in a 30-yard zone drop, it's almost like 35 yards. They play a little bit better because they are taller, and I just trust them that they won't get beat over the top if I individually back them up. So that's why I'm not rocking the deep out zone KO, but I think deep out zone KO, if we get 2 of them, it's going to be hard for me not to rock 2 deep out zone KOs at my top safety spot. Now, besides a deep out zone KO, do I think any other KOs are worth it? No, not really. Now, my opinions on this matter, linebackers, like I was using Terrell Bernard. As you can see, I don't have all the coins in the world. I recently invested a lot in my defense. I bought a bunch of linebackers. Like I bought Terrell Bernard, tried out lurker artist, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. I'm off linebackers. I'm off linebackers again. I get they get lurk artists. I get it's like pick artists, but if you cannot afford the top end options like Dave Robinson, they are still utterly useless. They don't have the speed to keep up. If I could afford Dave Robinson, if I could get Channing Crowder from the team captain pass right now, I would be running 3-3-5 wide still probably. But me personally, I can't. But the setup that I'm talking about is 3 lurk artists, potentially your user, and also 2 other people in the box. Like think about 3-3 cub right now, like linebacker with lurk artists I can drop into coverage. So 3 of those, that would be 3 out of your 7 AP, and then 2 other pick artists that I think, see, I always debate this, whether it should be your outside corner or your top safeties. I would say top safeties get the pick artists with 3 lurk artists. And that right there is really everything in the secondary. Now, let's talk about D-line real quick. I'm going to be honest, an ability that I think has potential, but like, it's so weird. Interior threat. I would notice this ability like shed really fast. Like I noticed it would light up, it would shed, right? But then after it shed, it would be like a guard to the right just randomly picks him up. You know what I'm saying? I think the offensive line right now is really, really good. I wouldn't really recommend running like an edge threat or an interior threat for abilities. What I would recommend if you want to go like full D-line abilities, I would say unpredictable still. And the reason why I'm saying unpredictable is because I feel like this ability is actually pretty unpredictable, like the name says. It has potential to activate in the run game, and literally the description, right? Shed wins are less likely to add blocker resistance. And what blocker resistance is, right? It's like how much they have built up towards your pass rush. So basically this is something that should be good the entire game. So you would have 3 unpredictables, and with your other singular AP, I guess you would go like a lurk artist or something. But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on the defense side of the ball. I think you should either full send the zone KOs, lurk artists and pick artists, or go D-line abilities. Those would be my 3 strategies on the defensive side of the ball. Now, kind of like offense, there are some defensive X-Factors that we could get. I think Quinnen Williams and Myles Garrett's X-Factors are a little bit too hard to get, but they're still really, really great cards. The one that I think is actually a pretty good X-Factor to get is Derwin James. And the one that I'm talking about is going to be this deep end zone KO ability. You need 3 passes defended or 3 TFLs. I feel like you could get that, I don't want to say relatively easily, but sounds easy to get, right? So if you want potential for another deep end zone KO on the field, get Derwin James. But yeah, y'all, this has been my breakdown on how I would use my AP post AP update. Hopefully I was able to help y'all. If I was, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this. If you guys want to watch me play live, use my AP setups live, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. We've been grinding streams over there, so I greatly appreciate that. Now, if you don't feel like heading over to Twitch though, and you want another video to watch, check this one out right here, because I tested to see if interior threat was any good.